So that could be happening here if they get those first turn in, if they get a little bit of a snowball momentum for themselves, and they can definitely do that. But again, it's scary, and you can't rely on Dignitas making mistakes. You have to force them to make mistakes. You can't just wait for an opportunity here. You have to create them.
So we did have first pick. Dignitas, go over to Dignitas in game number 1. And they picked up the Genji. Tracer banned out for Team Liquid. Dignitas thinking about what they want to remove.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Tracer banned out again. So with Tracer already taken away, that's pretty much the trend that we have seen a bit more, and especially Team Liquid is currently respecting the Tracer play on the side of Dignitas a lot.
Not typically a map that you're going to see that Abathur on. So Dignitas has the option to take something else away. Maybe a support, Uther, Malfurion. Also, there is the damage dealers that come in and mix up. They decide to go ahead and choose Uther.
I still want to see what priority Guldano has on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
It should be high, right? Especially with these teams.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like Greymane, Gul'dan, those are heroes that I really want to see. Chromie super early again. That's especially true for Team Liquid, and we talked about that in the previous series as well. Their priority on Chromie is pretty high.
Yep.
They were 3-1 before the last match, so now they're 3-2 with the loss that they just suffered. But for Chromie, that's still very solid, and Liquid is one of the teams that plays Chromie more than most.
Yeah, they debuted the Chromie gameplay and how they enjoy playing her in 2017 with the Johanna frontline controlling, Sandstorm just being dropped down to make sure that they prevent anyone from getting turn-ins, while meanwhile they usually have some kind of wave clear on the team to make sure that they're getting value somewhere else in the battleground in terms of pushing a wave and getting more gym set up. So Team Liquid has showcased that style. They stick with it over and over again as they just know how strong it is.
So, first 2 picks for Team Dignitas. First question, of course, are we going to see Gul'dan again? What about Genji? They played Gul'dan on the last map, and this map he has even more value for the team, more wave clear, quicker rotations between the lanes. Same is true for Genji. Not quite the wave clear aspect of Genji, but the quick rotations between lanes that allow you to put even more pressure in. But Blaze for the bottom lane, and Hanzo taken.
One element that's kind of missed out on when you pick Hanzo in this battleground is how powerful he can be around those corridors that when you go for a night camp on the bottom side of the map, the scatter arrow usually gets a lot of easy poking, especially around that area. So it's hard for people to invade you, but also great for you to move in for invade. So Hanzo, a great early pickup on this battleground. He's always been a pretty good pickup lately, but in case he ever gets nerfs in the future, which there will be a patch pretty soon, if you need to pick up Hanzo, he can be great on this map and Dragon Charger when you're thinking about fighting around those corridors.
The nerfs are coming.
They're coming. The nerfs are coming.
Hanzo is actually doing, I don't know, he's in a pretty solid spot. He always hovers around 50% in most regions. So Malfurion and Greymane taken, and as we said before, we have Uther now already banned. We have, in this case, Malfurion being picked. Team Liquid is just taking another one of those big tools from Dignitas away.
Yeah.
And Malfurion was always a huge pillar on this map. Even before we had the big rework on him, he was great with the interrupts on turn-ins when you were trying to get rid of your gems. And then also when we're just looking at simply the zoning aspects that he has with roots around turn-in points. Greymane, flexible with kill potential, AoE. Very solid start here from them.
Thinking about bans here for Dignitas, a side laner is going to be strong. One that can possibly shut down Blaze is that Malthael. We always talk about him. But they have Greymane and Chromie, so that's one that you might not see in. You might go for more of a tanky offlaner, which the Leo, granted we mentioned he's fallen off, can be one that you take away. But also, Johanna is a great pairing with Chromie. So Dignitas thinking about what they want to get rid of to make sure that front line isn't too durable, so they can get that tasty Chromie on the back line. Yeah,
Liquid hasn't played Johanna so far. But you are absolutely right. We have seen Johanna several times and mostly on this map. Johanna, on the other hand, was not really... Johanna doesn't really have a good time in Europe.
Yeah.
2 wins,
She
9
gets beat up.
losses, 18% win ratio. She has been beaten pretty much to the ground. She was played a lot by leftovers, 4 games, and all of them lost. Diamond Skin lost twice with her. Zealots lost twice with her. Johanna just not really in a good spot. But then again, if you look at Dignitas, they played her once and they were successful. One of the few teams that actually got a win with Johanna. But if there's a Johanna map, it's this one.
When comparing balance, when playing Dignitas, all heroes are OP. They can't be stopped. A new Barak and
That's what it
Blaze.
feels like.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so new Barak. Haven't seen him today yet, but Dignitas brings him in. Cocoon always being strong. Double warrior frontline. Allows them to appeal on back and gets the engages they want.
And Nubarak has, interestingly enough, I don't want to say fallen off, but in Europe he's not as heavily involved as he was the past few days. Not like he has completely disappeared or anything, but there's some teams that really rely heavily on him. He has a 6-1 win ratio with Fnatic, for example. This is now the third time that we're seeing him from Dignitas. And overall, looking at Anubarak, he's 14-12. For a frontliner, for a tank, that's actually a really solid ratio. A 54-55% win ratio in HGC is extremely, it's definitely very solid and gives you always the opportunity to be hyper aggressive here. We have seen him also a lot on the map, since again you can traverse between lanes very quickly and then jump on a single target. Prepared with a cocoon, for example, set it up for the rest of the team to move in and then get your kill. Normally you want to capitalize on it with some burst, and that's where Li Ming comes into play. So Li Ming as the setup can capitalize on the stuns and also on the cocoon plays.
Yeah, looking for a bit more aggression here from Dignitas, it looks like. Fifth pick will be coming in later, they'll need support, but over to Team Liquid, they need their front line. Murden has been a go-to, but he's been banned out. ETC is up and available. A little bit difficult though to play against Blaze, it seems like, since he's having a hard time against these double warrior compositions. I don't know, I'm still kind of hovering towards that Johanna. I know she hasn't been the one to really pick up, but I feel like here, she'd be alright.
I mean, they play a lot around ETC, so I could see them pick ETC again.
Yeah.
They also still need an offlane at the bot lane, and then we're mostly talking about, like, Tyrael is also still around and would work with Greymane. Tyrael, ETC, Leoric still being a play. Johanna, again, they haven't played her yet, but that doesn't immediately shut her out, and they can take her. So Johanna is taken. As we said before, she has really not had a lot of fun in Europe, but the games where she won were mostly on Tomb. So now we have Arthas with that as well.
Got a side laner, got a front liner, got some Chromie and Greymane poke. Team Liquid's composition looking pretty strong in terms of just on the battleground, but can they handle what Dignitas will bring their way? Support here for Dig should be coming in soon.
I mean, with Chromie, Johanna is stronger, but with Arthas, I can't help myself and really just look towards ETC and feel that he would have been great for them. He can be blown up maybe a bit faster, but first of all, you can complete proc rogue super easily on this map. Then you have slide into Malfurion roots, into Arthur's Howling Blast. That's a lot of CC that's already there that you can use, and that's also something where Chromie comes into play again and capitalize on it. So Johanna, again, has the added wave clear. That's definitely one of the best advantages that she brings to the table when we look at Tomb in particular. And she also has, of course, another quick interrupt with a shield glare. But if you want to be aggressive in the early game and have a strong rotation that puts pressure on the opponent, I think ETC would have probably done you a bit more good here.
Rhaegar, the final pickup for Dignitas. Support coming in with some cleanse, helping out with that Blessed Shield.
Yeah, we are currently seeing Xaylia improving his hero pool. Rhaegar for the first time for them as well.
This week to show off all those tasty heroes that he can play. Maybe we'll get that Lily later on.
He got a little bit, yeah. And then
Finally.
Lava Wave Ragnarok, exactly. He got a little bit bored by playing Malfurion and Uther the entire time, so he's just like, okay boys, I want to play something else. So he finally gets to play as Lucio again, gets to play as Rhaegar again, so we are starting to see him on more and more heroes.
Maybe some Morales in the future would be cool too. I haven't seen Morales in forever. Have we had her at all, do you?
I don't think so. I
don't think we've even
can
had
check
her
that
once.
out, but I'm pretty sure that we didn't.
You always forget about those other supports. So going into it, wave clear pretty decent for both of our teams.
No Morales.
Poke really good for Team Liquid with that Chromie and the Greymane. So turn-in's going to be a little bit difficult, especially with Malfurion raining those Moonfires. Can Team Liquid use a strategy that they showed in the past? Controlling the Web Weavers, having enough time and enough wave clear to buy time and keep your opponents pinched down. That's what I'm worried about, because I haven't seen Dignitas pinched into a corner yet. So I'm kind of excited to see how Team Liquid can even approach that, and can they pull it off?
There's two aspects to it. The first aspect is that the entire time you're silently waiting for Dignitas to lose the first game. You're always asking yourself, how long can they actually maintain this win ratio? And on the other hand, if they don't lose, you still get to see that perfect coordination and play, where you're just like watching in awe on how good a team can coordinate and just make these decisions in draft, in rotations. So
the days that we watch Dignitas, I don't play heroes because I can't play that. Like, I can't be that good, and it makes me feel so bad. All right, time to go into game number 1. The honor is yours, Caldor.
Starting to the left side, we have Team Liquid down 1 game in the series. Here map number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Hazovs on Greymane, Nurok on Chromie, Sportbilly on Johanna, Splendor on Malfurion, and Eternal on Arthas.
On the right side in the red, Snitch on Hanzo, Poik on Li Ming, JPL playing Anubarak, Wubby on Blaze, and Xaylia. For the first time, will show us the puppy, Rhaegar.
straight for the puppy. All right, so for now, my eyes are definitely on Team Liquid. After the loss on the last map, I want to see how exactly they're going to perform here. Chromie had a bit of an impact in the early game on Towers of Doom for sure. Nurok was able to help his team to a few kills, but they couldn't really get any big lead out of it. It's a smaller map, so we're going to have some quick rotations potentially to put the pressure on. But if Nurok can actually start to get some kills here early on, that might translate into them getting the first objective. And if you can start with that snowball, that might be what Team Liquid is hoping for here. In general, Tomb is a map where Team Liquid is undefeated right now. They played twice, and they haven't lost there yet.
Will that fare well with them? We thought it would on Towers of Doom. One of the things for Team Liquid to consider is making sure to get these time traps in the corners and hoping that maybe someone from Dignitas walks in so Nurok can come in with a combo right away and be a laser point on. The issue is that when you're facing off against double tank, a new rag being one of those tanks, it's actually kind of hard to land those time traps in important fights. Hang on though, Zelly taking some damage here on the top. Gets chased away, but he survives.
Yeah, so Harzov's taking quite some damage, but he's willing to trade here with Snitch at the top. At the bottom of the map, there's a potential gank already. Okay, so at this point, there was vision immediately granted by Chromie, and that was really the moment where Arthur's definitely said, guys, something is a bit fishy here. Can someone please check out and drop a bit of vision down here, because this feels weird. And thankfully so, at least for Eternal, because if not, there would have been an immediate move by Anubarak to get the stun in and for Poik to deliver some damage and maybe even a kill. Nice combo attempt here. Howling Blast on the immediate follow-up. Poik dodged it, but if not for that, Li Ming would have been in trouble.
Also, a cool little maneuver there from Dignitas. They took a Nubrak and Li Ming and faked like they were going to go middle the moment the Time Walkers came out to reveal where they were. And then the moment that they saw Chromie start to back up a little bit, they instantly did a 180 and headed straight toward the bottom fort and took out the turret, which gave them the experience right away to hit level 4. Little maneuvers like that, reacting to your opponent but also forcing them to react, gives you a nice little leg up if you're able to get it in.
Yeah, and they are already starting to pull slightly ahead here. It's nothing too crazy, but at least from a turn-in perspective, Team Liquid is looking solid. We have them with 22 already turned in, but Zelia, of course, now taking that camp at the bot lane. That's going to constitute a bit of a problem for Liquid, since they are starting to immediately push out the bot lane. And Nubarak even stopping the rotation from Nurok, at least for now, slowing it down a bit. And that should give Wooby a bit more of an edge to break through the wall here, maybe put even additional pressure onto the second tower.
One of the strengths of Rhaegar, being able to take those giants yourself. With Wooby around, sharking around, they're able to grab those giants pretty early. Rhaegar also does pretty well with night camps too, which should be the next one. Usually you grab a nice little experience lead to get the waves pushing in if you have the superior wave clear, and then eventually you peel somebody off to grab the night camp. So I'll see if Dignitas grabs that pretty soon as Team Liquid finally defends the giants that were on the bottom lane.
But there's also a lot of pressure on Liquid already, and they are half a level behind. Now, a lot of the experience is going to come in once these waves are starting to hit the walls. The problem is that some of that experience stems from structures that were taken down, and that's something that Liquid is going to have a rough time to recover, since Dig has more or less taken control over the two turn-in spots, and they're always pressuring the rotations here now as well. Liquid is definitely already in a bit of an awkward spot. We haven't seen a single kill yet, but Liquid is more and more on the defensive here.
Good news for them is they've turned in 27 gems, so have Team Dignitas, so that they can get a turn in. That will help them mitigate this pressure that you keep alluding to from Dignitas. That is getting them almost to level 7, but that's the issue, is they're falling behind on talent, so it becomes harder to go for that turn in. Especially with them having to keep Chromie in a spot for wave clear. Chromie's had to come to the middle and bottom lane consistently just to match the wave clear of Blaze and Hanzo, who's been rotating on the lanes.
Yeah, Eternal at the bot lane is still dealing with Wooby here, and so far he's doing a good job there, but they need to find the turn-in, and that's going to be a bit difficult, I feel. Because right now, these rotations are faster for Dignitas, and they're doing a really good spot, just peeling one hero off and sending him to a turn-in spot, and still holding that. But Liquid is keeping tabs of all of this, so they are getting the interrupts in with Malfurion and his Moonfire. The teams have both hit level 7, and I think around level 8, Chromie can start to capitalize on her 10 and maybe give Team Liquid the slight edge that they need to get the first wave.
Snitch taking a little bit of harassment here. I'm watching for this turn-in right now because they are one gem away. JPL is going for it, but Sport Billy has already scouted it out. He'll take a little bit of damage here from Poik. And Snitch gets a little bit cheeky, sneaks up himself, goes for the turn-in, but Sport Billy gets the harassment once again. This turn-in is pretty important here. if Dignitas can get that running in, they've already opened the top wall and the bottom wall, which means forts will be the next point of contact for those web weavers.
Yep, and they only need one more. Dignitas, that is. One more turn in is all that they need. One more gem that comes in. And we have now Grill and Kill taken on 7 for Whoopi as well, so he still plays that variation of Blaze. Most of the other Blaze players so far have instantly gone for their auto attack talent. They're shielding Zelia. Red Web Weavers are descending as we have the turn-in completed, this time at the top turn-in spot through Hanzo. So right now, Dignitas is going to be the team to start pushing this in, and they already have a slight lead in experience.
Oh,
and
middle lane.
The more important thing is they actually have the lead in structures taken down. So with the towers gone at the top of the bot lane, that Red Weaver push could hurt a lot.
I like what Team Liquid did, though. They found a new Breck in the middle, and they did as much damage as they could to him, trying to get a kill. They didn't quite secure it, but it makes him back up, which does take away the push. And Team Liquid, with a quick rotation in the bottom lane, find a route, find an engage, and get a kill on Blaze.
Yeah, really well done by them. At a good time too, but they still need to defend against this. And Dignitas is not completely letting up. Oh, nice dodge by Sportbilly. He still gets barely out of there, but that was a very nice juke, making sure that he doesn't get stunned out. Chromie is up at the top defending, but Dignitas still takes the lead in experience. Blaze or no Blaze, doesn't matter. They still got the turn in, and they still get structures here. But the kill definitely helped them. And now they get another one, maybe. Poik about to go down, and he had 20 gems. Can Snitch get them? That's the question. He's thinking about it, but then he retreats, just realizing that there's a good chance he might die himself.
Those 20 gems lost. That will definitely hurt Team Dignitas, making it harder for them to go for that second turn-in that you typically see after a fort is grabbed. Immediate 10 hits as Dignitas moves in, grabs a Cocoon on Arthas. Will they have the blow potential, though? Snitch is coming around the corner. He's going to be setting up for an arrow. There it is. It lands and connects. Zelia goes in for the damage. A Therno kiting backwards, and he's just fine.
JPL in the bunker, tries to move out, gets the cooldown, and is on the way back. 10 is in for Liquid. Can Johanna get close enough to get the shield in? No. No blessed shield from her.
But turn in.
Saving Arthas also, like that was super important here. So because the cocoon duration was so long, it allowed Team Liquid to rotate down, and now we could see the turn in. Immediately the bullet against Whoopi, and they're starting to go in. 10 more seconds and still we see the bunker back, but Poik is starting to also poke, and they prevent the turn in for now.
Yeah, this is typically where Team Liquid is strong, when they have that Chromie and that Johanna set up the slowing sands controlling a point of the area. Very easy for them to go for their own turn in, but to keep their opponent back. But Dignitas is showing that their poke is equally as strong between Li Ming and Hanzo, preventing the constant turn in for Sportbilly in the attempt, especially when they have Blaze helping out with his jet fuel.
To be honest, Liquid is in a decent spot if they can get the turn in. They are close to experience with Dignitas. And think about where Dignitas is. They took the fort at the top, and then they took the towers at the bottom of the map as well. So they have taken a massive amount of structures. That gap in experience is going to evaporate within seconds if Liquid gets a turn in and starts to take these towers down on the forts of Dignitas. So there's definitely potential, but for that to happen, they need to turn in. And on top of that, they have also a superior gem count because they haven't lost anybody yet. So they haven't lost any gems whatsoever, whereas Dignitas lost quite a few thanks to those 2 kills.
Wubby doing his best to delay. Therno wants to go for that turn-in, as you were just mentioning. Wubby comes on the side here. He's going to drop down the Pyromaniac. Just trying to stay alive for a little bit longer. JPL will have to Burrow Charge a wave after using Cocoon. But Team Liquid finally gets the turn-in that you were asking for.
And Cocoon is burned. So Cocoon is going to be down for the defense of the Web Weavers. Bunker should be back in time, so that's not really becoming an issue. They can still use that, but there's definitely not that big threat of immediate counter-engage. So Dignitas can't just simply turn around, drop a Cocoon, and push it past it. So they won't be able to do that. So Liquid at this point has to really start pushing it in, closing the experience gap, and then try to go for the next turn and right after. They haven't lost anyone yet. They hold on to all of the gems. Hazops has 30 himself. And Eternal with a lockdown. Once again, bullet comes out. They're just keeping prodding and poking the entire time, using the low cooldowns that they have on Greymane's bullet in particular.
Yep, just put a little bit of damage there on the bottom lane, allow Wubby and Li Ming to clear it up, but put most of your pressure here in the middle. This is the focal point for Team Liquid. Open up the middle of the map and then rotate to the top after you see that Dignitas has brought enough in to defend it. So far though, Dig was dealing with bottom, and Wubby, who came on the side, has to play a bit safe.
Yeah, but the experience already shows that we are having Liquid starting to get farther and farther to closing this gap. The problem is that most of the web weavers didn't really get too much for them. The mid lane, open up the wall, arrow against 3, Norok is down immediately, no chance for him, but Sport Billy picks up the gems. Cocoon comes out though, and they go for Splendor, and that's the second kill. Malfurion is dead, the Cocoon is still active, Sport Billy is on the run, desperately trying to get away here, used his shield as well, dodges most, but is not able to survive. And with Johanna falling and Greymane as well, all of a sudden we have a massive amount of gems lost by Team Liquid. And Dignitas, again, just... I mean, it looks rough for Dignitas for a moment. They're still ahead in experience, but it's really that potential that Liquid has with the second turn-in. And then they get nearly team-wiped.
I know a fanboy.
4 heroes die, and Dignitas gets all the gems, takes the boss. It's insane.
And they set up for a turn in. And I know I fanboy Wubby way too much, but again, sets up that entire kill, comes around the side of the flank, goes behind a minion wave, goes in for the engage, drops a bunker so he doesn't get rooted, just to make sure that Hanzo can fall up into the perfect arrow, which allowed for Dignitas to get that team fight. Clean setup there by Wubby, great follow-up by the rest of the team, and now Team Liquid has to deal with this push coming their way.
Yeah, and Liquid, I would argue, already didn't get enough out of their own web weaver wave. They only took 2 towers in the middle of the map. That's all that they got from the wave, not more than that. And right now, they are nearly 2 levels behind. So that quad kill against them really ruined their day. Before that, they were starting to get small advantages. They were in a great spot in regards to their gem count. They took 2 heroes out on Team Dignitas' side and therefore also stole a few of the gems away. But right now, they are falling farther and farther behind. 16 any moment now for Dignitas. And Dignitas has taken an insanely aggressive stance here.
Yeah, to put it in comparison, Team Liquid was in a spot where they had just woken up, they just had their coffee like Caldor, things were going well, Caldor goes outside to get on his bike, and suddenly it's raining, because Dignitas has brought a thunderstorm and ruined their day.
What are you talking about? It doesn't rain in so bad.
Just follow with me here, man.
It never rains here.
You just ruined everything. Another combo coming in here from Dignitas. Web Weavers controlling the pace of the bottom lane. The Moonwell being blown up here on the side too. So the keep opened up. Here's the arrow. Wubby engaged. GPL goes in, but the Malfurion Twilight Dream stops it in its tracks.
Yeah, Spot Billy is still low, trying to move in. The kill against the Nubrak. Maybe an opportunity for Team Liquid to turn it around here as they go for Wubby, but the Ancestral keeps Wubby alive as they move back. Once again from the backline, Chromie, shots fired one after another. The forts are still holding, the keeps are still holding, and we have Liquid closing in on 15, 1.5 levels behind, 1 talent behind, but a bit of breathing room now that Anubarak is dead.
Still an imperative kill there for Team Liquid. They get a nice amount of experience, and they stop the push from Team Dignitas in its tracks. So nice play there by Team Liquid. They just need to soak on level 16 and find a way to get this turn-in. They have enough gems as to where Dignitas doesn't have a turn-in available to them now. So if they want, they can play it patiently here, get their 16, and then try to force the issue.
Yeah, Liquid needs to stop the bleeding, and they're doing the best they can. They take the camps now. They're half a level away from 16, and that would allow them to move in. The gem count is sufficient to get another turn-in. They're still far behind in terms of objective control in regards to Dignitas, who already had 2 complete web weaver waves. But Liquid can still pull this off. They need the talent, and then they can fight again. But they have lost a lot of ground on the map now. And of course a lot of real estate with all of the forts already gone, whereas Dignitas has just simply lost a few towers, and that's it. Not even a single fort has been dropped. But Liquid is not out of this yet. If around 16 they can take the fight and they can win a team fight, they have an opportunity to make their way back into the game.
There's that 16 right there. Team Liquid groups up slightly here. They do not have Chromie with them yet, so they have to wait for the Chromie to be nearby. There she is. Narok just heads straight to the middle lane, though. He has to deal with this Night Cam that's pushing in. They want to clear it before it becomes too much of an issue, and before it's beaten on the front door of that keep wall. But Thurnal and crew, they're actually a little bit terrified here. JPL steps up to defend said Night Cam, which means that he could open up a fight at any point. But with Wubby clearing off to the side, Team Liquid finally deals with the Merc Camp, and Team Dignitas instead drops off a few gems.
Yeah, and they have the gem count they need for a turn-in. So at this point you have to interrupt Wubby. You have to make sure they interrupt him. They have it there, bullet is used, okay, Wubby backs off. Liquid cannot allow another turn-in right now. They need to get theirs first. They need to make sure that they have a web weaver wave and that they can do at least a bit of damage against the structure so that they can close the experience gap. But Xaylia is there, and Xaylia is likely to get the turn-in. He gets it, and that's the wave. And Liquid is in trouble now.
This is 0.
could
Irons can't keep
be...
him alive.
They're fighting. They need to do something. Cocoon comes out. Whoopi saves himself for now. Cocoon is still there. Jet propulsion being used. Eternal. Here comes a shield. Howling Blast. Cleanse is in. They're going for Arthas. As Liquid loses this fight, they are likely to lose the game.
Splinter's
low, and he uses Twilight Dream, and they're just disengaging. No thought anymore of actually fighting and winning the battle. Instead, Johanna goes down, and this could be the beginning of the end.
Point finds a combo. Nurk will be able to time out the next one there, and Team Liquid is able to disengage, but they will be doing without a Johanna for 30 seconds as she did get picked off. Webweavers finally meet the front doors of Team Liquid, and remember that bottom lane's been opened up, and Wubby aims to continue pressing the issue. Oh, hang on though, and Nubarak gets locked down and blown up.
That was an important one. Getting the kill against the Nubarak was actually fantastic. JPL stepping out a bit too far and then dying here. That's the second time that he got blown away like this. So now Liquid has a better chance of defending, but they are still suffering. Down to the bottom of the map, we're seeing one keep falling, and I think Liquid is going to be able to hold on to the rest of them. But they again lost a fair amount of gems on Johanna. They still have enough for a turn-in. But it was really important for them to get the pass one and to turn in first, so at least interrupt Dignitas for a bit longer. Dignitas is a 19.5. I mean, they're really closing in on the Storm Talents now. Liquid has to push this out. They have 14 more seconds until Anubarak is back, by the way.
Yeah, the kill on Anubarak, as you mentioned, was important because it allowed for them to spread out and at least soak the other lanes. If you're facing off against an Anubarak, you have to meet the opponent in terms of numbers just to make sure that if Cocoon comes out, you're able to at least help them out and disengage. But the Cocoon not being on the field anymore, Team Liquid was able to defend their top lane. Had that Anubarak not gone down, they may have lost 2 keeps.
Hazu stopped the turn-in. We have the boss attacked at the top, if I see that correctly on the map. Yep.
No?
So they actually committed to it. I think it was just delaying that slightly. They want to force something here before Dignitas is 20. And they are willing to do that around the boss. If they can blow someone up again, they can make the play, and they're trying against Whoopi. They get Hanzo. Hanzo is down. Whoopi dropping the bunker. Team Liquid all of a sudden might be back in this. The Web Weaver's coming down. Bottom wave is deep pushing as the keep is not there anymore. But so they have time to push through the top. This is the you need to get structures now. The walls are not enough. Take the forts, take the structures, and close that experience gap. They can definitely make it harder for Dignitas to capitalize on the 20, but they have to get something done with this. Maybe even get another kill here. So they start to move in. Greyman is in the middle, and they are trying. 19 versus 19, but Dignitas again so close to the Storm Talents.
Team Liquid continues to push forward. Greyman in the middle lane. Great voice action there by Caldor. The fort gets picked up. That'll give him some experience in the middle. Okay, nice. But Team Liquid has to be careful. Team Dignitas realizing that Greyman's in the middle, push the issue a little bit here. They know their poke in wave clear is great. They even move in for the fight. JPL dives in with that level 20. He's low on health, able to burrow charge back on out while Sportbilly takes a poke on the top side. Yeah,
at this point, okay, bunker is in. Here comes Whoopi once more. This is actually an opportunity. Ancestral is out. Here comes Norok once
Arrow's
again.
coming across the map.
Arrow, they need to dodge that. They need to dodge that.
It hits. Play of the game connects. Wubby is going to be able to get out, but JPL not so lucky. Team Dignitas goes to the fight, but Team Liquid gets a kill.
Yeah, and the core is suffering. The catapults pushed through 64%, but they are still in this. They lost points on the core, and they got the kill, but now the keep in the middle on Dignitas' side is actually gone. Malfurion missed the arrow, so like Malfurion didn't see it, so he got hit by it, but it was only an arrow against one single target, and as they turned it around, they could kill JPL again. And JPL is having a rough time in this game. He died 3 times so far already, so he's just getting picked. But Liquid is now in a spot where even though they lost hit points on the core, they are on 20, and they have also taken the keep of their opponent because Dignitas was so set on taking kills.
Dignitas, luckily for them, at least just a middle keep. They still have their outer forts, their outer keeps in the top and the bottom lane. So in terms of defense, they should be well and set. But Team Liquid has earned their way back into this game. Couple of fights, couple of picks here and there, and a turn-in has done well for them. And they have another turn-in available here. They're going to go ahead and start dropping off these gems. Hasselhoff is the one leading the charge on that turn-in.
Yeah, and the rest is zoning really well too. So they are doing a great job, and Hasselhoff gets the turn-in. Web Weavers once again. Is this the fight? They're looking for it. Mid lane pushing heavily thanks to the night camp already. And at this point, Dignitas just looking for an opportunity to maybe get the drop before the Web Weavers are down. This is Liquid's opportunity to get ahead in this game.
They have forts to break. They have a map to open up. They have a night camp pushing in the middle lane, and they're going to join said night camp. Mid lane is going to be their main target.
Liquid.
They continue to move forward. The web weavers are here too.
Good damage against Wooby once again, but they are going through the middle. And they have the aura. They have the Knight aura right now. They want to play around that. 2 catapults pushing in. Liquid is trying to push for the core here, and they have the tools to pull it off.
Dignitas kiting as much as they can here, using the core for defense. Billy steps up, uses the Iron Skin.
Already bunker being used immediately. Everybody getting in, getting the extra armor, trying to push some pressure out. The camp is taken care of. And in the meantime, the top is being attacked. Fort is going to fall here, but the defense of Dignitas is strong.
Yeah, they only care about this lane here. A Dragon's Eye connects off of Rhaegar. Here comes the arrow, goes out, hits 2 members. Hasselhoff's going to be just fine, though. He kites backwards while Johanna turns around and grabs Wubby.
Good Iron Skin from Johanna. Really well done by Sportby. They allowed him to also zone for the rest of the team here. So the top has pushed through here in the middle. Not too much damage done. Bot lane also suffering a bit of damage as Dignitas still holds a fort there, but the pressure play up at the top is continuing. And Dignitas with the defense. After this, we still have the boss around, and that is where this entire game could be decided. And let's not forget, Dignitas has taken out the bottom keep of Team Liquid, meaning any kind of posture play around the boss at the top would force Team Liquid to stay there in force, and that allows the bottom lane to push through, so Liquid is going to run out of time at some point.
They set up a trap. Johanna comes behind. Billy. Snitch is going to be the target
Snitch.
here. Grayman jumps in. He's trying to get to the wall. He's able to jump over. The Ancestor Healing connects. Going to have the bunker come out too as well, and Team Dignitas stops the gank.
Billy, on the other hand, moving back now. He was already a bit low, but he thirdly is still at the front here with Arthas. Drops the army. They're going for it. They want Wooby. No bunker. Not this time. And Wooby is down. Wooby goes down, and Liquid is on the move forward.
They're chasing forward. Snitches dodges the Howling Blast, able to jump over a wall again. Poit comes over here with the poke. Team Liquid deciding they can't chase into this keep. They pull back and start looking at a boss. Remember, catapults are starting to jump up in the bottom lane, but they're still halfway through.
Liquid doing such a great job here. They had a great position in the mid game, and then they fell behind, but they always held on to the keeps until last moment. They got the fights, and now they're trying to turn this around. Some great kills against the front line. Wooby dying several times, and of course Anubara getting sniped over and over. At this point, the play for boss could decide the game, and of course Dignitas is shocking around here, but they still don't have Blaze. They're trying to look for a kill here, and Liquid with good positioning, good zoning from Splendor and Sportbilly are going for it. But here comes JPL. This is the fight, and this is going to decide the game. Cocoon is already being used here. Hazorbs is low. They go for it, and they take down Anubarak.
They also grab the boss as well. Hasselhoff is low though. Poik is trying to poke on the side. He's going to be zoned out by Sportbilly, but the 2 assassins are low for Team Liquid. They need to buy some time. Poik starting to retreat here. Zelia's here to help out as well, while Hanzo is doing his best to kite. But look at the core. The catapults. They're pushing in.
Catapults at the bot lane, and that's 2 of them. 3 of them already locked in. Hazorbs had to go back anyways, and he's jumping in immediately. He's going to take them down. There's a couple of shots left, but still, 50%, 57% on the core. And in the meantime, the boss at the top lane. 22 minutes, and Arthas is down!
He's coming in here. The timeout will be used. Poik goes for another shot, but he knows he has to go back to the boss. The boss is currently sitting on top of the keep, burning it down quickly. But it looks like Dignitas has at least defended their core. They're still in this game.
Yeah, and the keep might not even fall. If the keep doesn't fall, they don't even get the keep out of the boss. This is a 22-minute boss, and thanks to Greymane needed to go bot lane. The catapults were shredding his shields, so he needed to go bottom because he went bot. Dignitas could defend top, and then they, on top of it, even got the kill against Arthas. The keep doesn't fall, and that's rough for Liquid. They put a lot into this. A great flank against Wooby, waiting out the bunker, taking him down, then going for boss, keeping everyone alive, and they get... I mean, I don't want to say they get nothing out of it. They at least have, for the duration that the boss is not appearing on the map now, they can deal with the bottom lane pressure a little bit easier by defending it quite easily. But still, Arrow comes to the map. Arrow! And it hits! But Sportbilly was already on Iron Skin.
Iron Skin saving it there. And the rest of the team will get backed up, realizing they don't want to deal with the splash damage.
Trick, this is getting crazy now.
Dignitas has to back up.
24 minutes in the game. 8 kills against 6. Liquid down to 50%. Gem count in favor of Dignitas.
But they're still 14 off, even with it being in favor. Team Liquid feeling confident, trying to control the map here, pushing with the Night Camp, wanting to group with catapults. And this is a good thing about this play. If they're able to grab both these Night Camps and they're pushing middle, they're not going to get core. The defense is probably going to be in favor of Dignitas, but they'll be able to kite up and take away that keep.
Yeah, but talking keeps and cores, Liquid is the one who needs to move back soon. There's 2-3 catapults at the bot lane, and those catapults at any point reach that core. We are 25 minutes into the game. These things hit like trucks right now.
And Dignitas can keep him here too, remember.
They need to either go for core right now and rush it, because that bot lane is going to wreck them. If they don't commit to the core fully right now, they're going to lose to the catapults at the bot lane.
Greyman took the keep on the top right, so this is going to be 2 lanes of catapults. Dignitas wants to keep him here. Anubrak goes in for the burrow. Iron Skin used as Johanna's able to back up. There is still an arrow available for Hanzo if he wants to go for it. He does.
They just screwed up. Look at the shields.
It's starting to fall.
Yeah, it's starting to fall. That's a good way of putting it. The shields are just evaporating.
Greyman's going. He's charging back on his mount. He's trying to be the hero here.
Good luck with that. But
1 catapult defense, 15. 1 more shot, no, 15%. But in the middle, a fight breaks out.
Yeah, and now you're getting backdoored if you don't pay attention. They have to force something. Getting the keep at the top, yes, that was important, but I think the price was too high. Right now, you need to... Oh, the blessed shield, and that was a great one. Spot Billy goes in the kill against Nubarak. The kill against Blaze. Liquid. No way. Did they actually just do it? 15% of the core. They nearly died in the catapults. And then at the moment when they have to pull it off, they get a double kill against the front line.
And they start to charge towards the core. They have to break on through. Johanna's on her way from the middle of the map. 4 people are here for Team Liquid. Can they deliver the first loss to Dignitas?
Johanna goes back. Johanna goes back for the catapult.
Yeah, she has to.
She needs to. She needs to. It's 15%. At the same time, they're racing it. 60% for Dignitas. Dignitas doing what they can, but right now, Hazu jumping back in. Johanna's defended the bot lane, but Liquid might have to move back. No. Ethern is coming in. Arrow connecting against 2. Hazu is back to business. Hazu about to fall 8%, and there it is. Team Liquid takes down Dignitas on Tomb.